There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to TWF Power or Might. I'm Jonathan Coachman with Jim Ross and with Wade Barrett. And Jim Ross filling in for Mike today this week. And today on Power and Might, we're getting very near to the Kingly Thunder coming up soon. And we want to know who's going to be in. We know that Roman Reigns is the first man in. We know that Bo Peep will be the last woman in. As far as how many other wrestlers or toys or dolls are in there, we don't know. But we do know some of them, Jonathan Coachman says. We know it's Bo Peep, LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura. We also know it's Roman Reigns, Avro Eggman, Gojora's in it. We also know Bobby Lashley is also in it. And we also know that Shrek and He-Man and Otis Drosnick are also in it as well. And I wonder if other folks, like I guess Aries will also be in it as well. Well, Jonathan Coachman, to tell you the truth, we don't know all the men and women who are going to be in the Kingly Thunder. We don't even know who's going to win the Kingly Thunder this year. But so whoever it's going to be, your guess is good as mine on that one. But we do know some of the folks that will be in it. I'll tell you something right now, Wade Barrett says. The way I'm looking at it, I think Avro Eggman is going to win the Kingly Thunder this year. Well, what makes you think, Wade Barrett, that he's going to win? What makes you think, Wade Barrett, that he's going to win the Kingly Thunder this year? I don't know. I just have a feeling in my bones that I think he's going to win it. But I can't tell you how he's going to win it. But I know he's going to win it. Well, here comes The Rock now, formerly known as the Brahma Bull, the Great One, the Folks Fighter, and also known as the Last Head. Alright, everyone wants to know, just what was I thinking when I put Godzilla, King of the Fiends, or Godzilla, King of the Kaisers, to it in the Kingly Thunder? I know that no one between the reckonings of 1 and 5 rarely ever makes it. And if you are someone who's won it from being 1 up to 5, that's rare. I did it because I know that my near kin, Roman Reigns, can smoothly throw out Godzilla. He's in dough. He doesn't truly need my help at all. And Godzilla, you know that you have no luck in hell. Beating me. You know that it can't be done. And I will get even with you, Godzilla, because I have putting a bounty, whatever, on your head, whatever the English word that be. So whoever throws you over the top rope and out of Kingly Thunder at the end of this month, it's going to be more wealthier coming out than they were going in. Well, here's Godzilla now. Yeah, don't lie, Rock. You're lying. Don't go out there and lie about that you're going to do all this shit, because you're not. A lot of folks thought you were going to be at the Kingly. Everybody thought you were going to be at last year's Wrestle Madness, and you were not. And they were selling your shit like crazy. And what happened? You didn't show up, but Trevor Scott showed up, and then he didn't show up anymore. So don't lie to these folks and tell them you're going to do something that you're not going to do. But then again, Rock, lying always seems to be one of your great skills. Let's see what you lied about over the years. 1, from between 96 YL till 2005 YL, you lied about being the Great One, when we all know that no one called you the Great One. Alright? You took that from Green Gretzky and the NHL. Then you called yourself the Folks Fighter, which was something that Diamond Dallas Page was calling himself in WCW, something that Muhammad Ali called himself when he was in the NBA. When he was in the land boxing gathering. So you stole that from about. Well, the truth is you borrowed something, which was borrowed from someone else. And no one called you the Brahma Bull. What the fuck daddy's in this, Rock? I don't know. That was another lie. The last lie you told folks, you called yourself the Last Head. And somehow you thought that gave you sway over everything. But it did not. Let's see how you spent your free with run in WWE, Rock. Well, being in a bloodway, shaming Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins every time you got, saying that you were going to do all kinds of shit, that you didn't keep your word. Oh yeah, you and Roman Reigns won your match in night 1. Then night 2, everything went downhill and Roman Reigns lost the WWE heavyweight winnings. And you never made good on any of your threats. You want to know something? Don't bring up all the mistakes that I made or did in my first run in WWE, my 2F run in WWE, or my 3F one in WWE. Godjora, you may have beat me to the... Godjora, I beat you by several months. I came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering in the Freedef month of 9 between 93 or 9 between 98 YL. 4th month. I beat you. You didn't show up until at least the 6th month or the 7th month of 9 between 98 YL. And then you were this broken down, Godjora toy that someone bought from the Vinlander Frith Metal back day. That may be true, Brock, but let me tell you something. All the matches we had, you didn't win any of them. Let's be honest about that. You didn't win none of them. So I want to go one-on-one with the Great List one. Hey, how dare you call me the Great List one? Godjora, I am the Great One. Rock, I've made more films than you. I have made more films than anyone. You like to think you're the greatest. You say you're the greatest football player, wrestler, show player there is. Great for you, da-da-da. But I've been in more films than you've been in. Hell, between my Toho, my Sony, and my Warner Brothers films, I've been a lot more than you have been in. Well, The Rock says that here today, we're going to have a match. And I know I'm going to beat you like I did like I did in the past. And how are you going to do that? You going to cheat? You going to make it a bloodway oversight match? Yeah. And would someone work on that shooter over there? There's something wrong with it. Ding-ding-ding. Oh, The Rock, or Rocky Maivia, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever he wants to call himself, Jonathan Coachman said. He just gave Rock Bottom, or the Stone Bottom, to Godjora, King of the Fiends, Jonathan Coachman says. And Jim Ross said, here is what we used to call the most greatest hold in sports glee, or all of glee, the Folks Elbow. But I don't really think you can call it the Folks Elbow anymore, and I hardly doubt the folks even own it. And he's not going to help. He's not going to beat Godjora that way. That's not going to happen. Not at all. 1, 2, and a kick out. And now, that's going to piss off The Rock, Jonathan Coachman says. Jim Ross said, Rocky Maivia, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson being pissed off isn't really a big deal to most folks these days. He thinks he's got flay over folks, but the truth is he doesn't. Oh, he's on the board of overseers of the Toy Wrestling Gathering, so that kind of gives him some slay. And he is the oversight upholder of the Toy Wrestling Gathering. So that gives him some sway, Wade Barrett says. And I've never been in a ring with him, so I can't tell you all how that's going to play out. And now, but I do think he's going to make Gajor yield here. He's seeking to put Gajor in the sharpshooter, but Gajor, the way that he's shaped, the way that this doll or toy is shaped, it's not going to work. Gajor whacked him, and the Rock went down with a whack of his tail. Hey, give him time, Wade Barrett said. Give him time. And the Rock will come back from this. He always does. Body slam. And let me tell you something, Wade Barrett says. Why does Gajor like to behave like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin? Or Stunning Steve Austin? Or whatever he wants to call himself. I don't know. But I could tell you that Steve Austin and Gajor have been friends since between 98 YL. I know that much, Jim Ross said. Jonathan Coachman says Gajor hit him with the stunner. Will that be enough for Gajor, the King of the Fiends, to put the Rock away? 1, 2. No, only a 2 count. So no, it wasn't enough to put the Rock away. And now, Gajor once again, Jonathan Coachman says, is going to do the stone bottom, the stunner, and the Rock got out of the way. And oh, the DDT! The Rock just DDT'd Gajora. And down he went. And now, the Rock bottom. Jonathan Coachman said, oh God, Jim Ross says, here we go again. The folks elbow. You know, the folks don't own it, Jim Ross says. Yeah, the folks never owned the Great One, the Brahma Bull, the Last Head, the Folks Fighter. He never owned any of that, John. If you own any of it, Mike, today, none of that. Wade Barrett says he's going to win. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Here is your winner, The Rock. Well, now, The Rock has beat Gajora here today on Powerrr Might to make up for the matches that he had with him, Jonathan Coachman says, when he didn't win. He got that right, Jim Ross says. At the end of the day, The Rock has won the match against Gajora, but it doesn't make up for all the matches he had with him in between 98 YL and 9 between 99. It don't make up for the 20 OYL matches either that he lost in, Jim Ross says. I'll tell you one thing right now, Jonathan and Jim. The Rock, the Great One, the Folks Fighter, the Brahma Bull, the Last Head, whatever you want to call him. Rocky Maivia, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever you want to call him. He's a great wrestler. You just saw him out-wrestle Gajora, Wade Barrett says. Alright, we'll take it away now with Mike Today. Stand up! Get your head up. Thank you, Jonathan Coachman and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with The Rock here today on Powerrr Might. Alright, Rock, we never did get to work together. I was in WCW, then I was in TNA, so I never got any time to work with you. But I just saw you beat Gajora, King of the Fiends, a man that you had wins over in the past, started losing to, but somehow, some way, you got your win. Oh, I can tell you what, Mike, today, I beat Gajora. That's right, I did. And Gajora isn't going to win the Kingly Thunder. Not today, he's not. Not when it happens. You see, Gajora, yeah, he may have made more films than anyone out there. But I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of the day, I'll be the winner. I'll be the one who does it. And yeah, I could put myself in the Kingly Thunder, too. I do got that flay, and I could do it. So you're saying you're going to put yourself in a Kingly Thunder and somehow screw over Gajora? yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But why am I talking about my game goals with you for? It's truly none of your business, Mike, today. And it doesn't matter if you were in WCW or TNA. You know, it doesn't matter if Jim Ross and you never both got to work together. At the end of the day, all it's going to need is I laid a smackdown on a King of the Fiends, the Kaiser of the Fiends. Well, that's my talking with The Rock. Back to you, Jonathan Coachman and Mike today. Jonathan Coachman and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Mike, today for talking with The Rock here today on Powerrr Might. And that's all the time we got here for Powerrr Might. I, Jonathan Coachman, with Jim Ross and Wade Barrett, we hope you like Powerrr Might, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw.